teachers and friends. Today I'm going to share you a story about Hansel and Gretel by Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time, there were two siblings. Their names were Hansel and Gretel. They both lived with their father and stepmom. Their father was just an ordinary woodcutter, and it's very hard to afford food in that time. Stepmom had an idea to put Hansel and Gretel in the deep forest. The stepmom said, "We cannot survive with them. We will die. We can't even afford food for ourselves or even them." Father said, "Oh my God, no, we cannot do it. They're just kids. What if they get lost?" But in a few moments, he agreed to put the kids in the deep forest. But Hansel overheard the conversation. So he collected rocks and put the rocks in the pathways when they were lead to the deep forest. The next day, Hansel and Gretel and father is leading them to the deep forest, while Hansel put the rocks one by one as their pathway to home. And when they get home at night, they ran back home as fast as they could. And father and stepmom was shocked of how did they survive? How did they find their way home? But stepmom has another plan. For the second attempt, stepmom asked father to drop them in the deep woods again. But Hansel didn't have any time to collect the rocks since it was all of a sudden. So instead, he used his crackers for his breakfast. He put one by one in the pathways like yesterday. After a few moments when they got dropped off, father turned back to the cabin. What happened next? So Hansel looked back and see there were no pathways because the birds ate them. Gretel said, "Oh my God, Hansel, what we should do? I'm hungry, I haven't eaten breakfast." Hansel said, "Yeah, let's find a way to survive and find food." They kept walking, and walking for hours and hours. But something caught Hansel's eye. It was a hood. It's not just an ordinary hood, but it's a hood made out of gingerbread, candies, pastries, and even cake. Gretel said, "Hansel, oh my God, look at the house. It smells of gingerbread and other food. Can we eat them?" Hansel said, "Yes, we should, because we're hungry and we're starving to death." They both ran into the house and ate the house one by one, every single minute, one huge bite, until they heard footsteps of the witch coming towards them. The witch said, "Hey, little kids, what are you doing to my house?" They both got grabbed and pushed into the house. Hansel ended up in the cage. Meanwhile, Gretel cooking food for the witch and her brother Hansel. The witch said to Gretel, "Hey, little girl, you should cook food for me and your brother until your brother becomes fat." Gretel just nods. Every single hour, every single day, every single week, the witch fed Hansel tons of food just to make him fat. So she checks Hansel by touching his finger, since she has poor eyesight or nearly blind. the witch said, "Hey, little boy, can you give me your finger? I want to touch your finger." So Hansel stick out his finger and let the witch touch his finger to see if it's already fat. Actually, the witch was cannibal. She's so ready to eat Hansel. Hansel outsmarted his idea. So in the next day, when the witch checked his finger, he gave a chicken bone instead of his finger. So the witch's jaws dropped. She was so shocked, and she unlocks the cage. And Hansel pushed with his power and pushed her to the ground. And Gretel knows what she should do. So she helps Hansel pull her to the oven and lock her up. Gretel proudly shouted, "Yes, we did it, brother! Let's go and seek for help." They both ran outside the hood. And they saw a man spotted in the middle of the forest. They both shouted for help! "Help! Help us! Help!" They ran towards the man, but it was their father. Their father was in tears of happiness, finally finding them, not seeing them hurt or injured. He begged and begged for apology and regret what he has done. They both reunited at home, but unfortunately, the stepmom died for some reason. They live happily ever after, and they will never be separated. Thank you for listening.